What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and when you start out in Elden Ring, you're probably wondering what kind of character to build. Well, today I'm going to show you how to build the ultimate Astrologer. This is for mages who want to keep their distance and fire off powerful spells to defeat any kind of enemy in the game. But first, download Gods Unchained if you're looking for an NFT trading card game where you own and can trade your own cards. Use the link in the description to start with a few free packs. Alright, so of course the first thing you're going to do in Elden Ring is create a new game, and the first page that will come up will have a lot of pre-built types of characters. So we're going to scroll over to the Astrologer here and select that one. Now, of course, you can select a body type. It doesn't really matter what you're picking here. But I'm going to go ahead and enter my name, Lion Roar. And that looks good to me. And then among the body type, this is whether you want to be like buff or slender. Again, really doesn't matter. I'm going to go with like a mature look, and then if you wanted to change the type, you could of course do that again here. You get a choice of keepsake. Now this is actually really important for the Astrologer, so let's go ahead and click on this. You see a list of these here, and if you're brand new to this game, you probably have no idea what any of these do. But I'm going to tell you right now, the best one to pick for this build is Golden Seed. And the reason is because it's going to give you an extra charge to your flasks. There's two types of flasks you have in this game. One is for healing, and one is for FP, or basically like the mana you're going to use to cast your sorceries. And so this will give you one additional charge that you can use for that, and the Astrologer is going to need as much FP as possible. So yeah, we're going to take the Golden Seed. Now, of course, here you can also pick like how you want this guy to look here. So of course, you're going to go through this and pick however you want it to look. I'm just going to run through this really fast. Once you're done adjusting your character, you're ready to move on. But let's pause here so I can show you what the starting stats look like and share with you what to prioritize so you know what to put your runes into as you level up going forward to make the most powerful Astrologer build. So first you start off at level 6, and of all the categories here, the most important one is intelligence. I think that goes without saying with a mage build, but the one that might trip you up a little bit is Faith and Arcane, which sound like they should also be part of a mage build, but not this one. If you really want to have the most powerful mage build you can possibly have, you're going to completely ignore Faith and Arcane and just pump everything into intelligence that you possibly can. More than anything else, you want to get this up to probably about level 60 if you want access to some of the most powerful intelligence weapons in the game, which includes staffs and some swords and other things that are also enchanted and allow you to use sorceries and Ashes of War and things like that. Alright, so intelligence first and foremost, use your runes on that. The second most important one is probably a little bit boring, but that's Vigor, and that's because as a mage, you're kind of a glass cannon. Yeah, you're going to deal tons of damage, but you're also going to die a lot, and especially if any enemy gets near you, they can kind of take you out with just a couple hits. So you need to get that Vigor up to last through some hits, whether it's ranged weapons or, you know, a close slash that happens to make it through your sorceries. So get intelligence up first, and then vigor at about a 2-to-1 ratio. Mind is also very important here at 15. It's already pretty high, but you're going to want to get that up to about level 20, and then you can kind of ignore it for a while. I'm going to explain why. Because what you're going to do with your runes is put most of it into intelligence to make as powerful of damage spells as you possibly can. Mind increases your FP, which means that you have more mana available to you basically, but if your sorceries are already so powerful, doing so much damage, you don't need a ton of FP. So get it up to 20 and then just kind of leave it there. That gives you access to pretty much all the most powerful sorceries you need in this game. Now, let's talk about endurance, strength, and dexterity, because these also play a role in the mage build, although not a big one, but a vital one. So as you're starting out in this game, you may want to put a few points into each of those with more of a balanced build to start with before you really start pumping intelligence. And that's because also as a mage, you're going to be relatively weak to your opponents, of course. So you're going to want to be able to put on new armor and equipment. You need to increase endurance to make sure that you stay at least like a medium load. Each of the equipment has a different weight, and if you have a heavy load, you're not going to be able to like sprint and roll and dodge things as quickly. So you want to keep it at least a medium load by increasing the endurance. Get it up just high enough so that you can do that with the equipment that you want. Because as a mage, there's not a whole lot protecting you. You may not even be able to carry a shield in a lot of cases. So you need to be able to roll and move quickly. Strength. There are some really good weapons that are also intelligence weapons, but do require the strength to be a little bit higher. So get the strength up just as high as you need to. You don't need to go overkill with that. You should be putting more of that into intelligence, but just high enough to be able to carry the weapons that you're looking for. And then lastly, dexterity. This one's actually important to a mage as well because it has to do with how quickly you can cast your sorceries. And some of the sorceries, like the very first one you start out with, the Glintstone Pebble, you can fire off really quickly if you have a higher dexterity. So what that means is, and by the way, it staggers the opponent a little bit, so you can actually like keep the opponent off your back if you're hitting them with Glintstone Pebble. But if you have the dexterity up there, that means you're just like whoosh, 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 just firing those off before they can even really respond to that. So that's what you're going to focus on there. You do have a starting staff, the Astrologer staff here, and the Glintstone Pebble sorcery as I was talking about. And you know what? Quite honestly, Glintstone Pebble is actually probably the best sorcery in the game. I know they didn't really give you much to work toward with this build, but that's also why this build is so powerful, because that particular sorcery you're going to use to kill probably like 90% of the enemies that you face. You know, there's one more spell, Rock Sling, which you can get later on down the road. But that's a really powerful one that is good to use against bosses or really big, thick enemies that need to take a lot of damage at once. But otherwise, Glintstone Pebble, when you level intelligence up, that thing gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it has a soft ceiling, but it's a really high. It's at level 60, like I was saying, you can get intelligence up to. And then you also start out with a sword here that doesn't really matter as much as the Astrologer staff. You're going to want to find an intelligence weapon to replace that one at some point. All right, so with that, you're ready to go. You can click finish and start the game, play it as you will, have fun, explore the world. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you know when I drop new videos or go live, and I will catch you in the next one.